Hello everyone, it's Laura here from SeeClear Counselling and welcome back to another Tuesday afternoon live Facebook video. So it's really good to see that these Facebook Lives are helping people through this period of COVID-19 isolation. Hi Sue, thanks for joining me. So as you come on board, give me a wave, let me know you're there, because it's always nice to know that I'm not talking to myself. So yes, here we are, week 6 of our COVID-19 isolation, and I've been doing these videos each week through this period, and this week I thought I would look at some relaxation techniques to help with anxiety. Hi Charlie, thanks for joining us. So yeah, we're going to be looking at some relaxation techniques, and I'm going to be talking you through a couple of breathing exercises. Hi Alex, thanks for joining. We're going to be looking at some progressive muscle relaxation and also some distraction techniques for when your anxiety is at its height. So we're going to be doing a little bit of practice with those breathing techniques and things as well. So be ready to practice with me. So I'll start off by talking about why relaxation is so important for anxiety, and then we'll move on to looking at the techniques that I'm going to teach you today. Hello Julie, thanks for joining. So why do we need to be relaxed? So anxiety comes from our fear of danger, and if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that we've talked about the survival instinct and how fight or flight kicks in when we feel fear or danger, and that leads to our anxiety. So our fight or flight is when our brain feels that we're in danger. And so what happens is it starts a process of being able to keep us alive in reality. So our brain has this thought that we're in danger. That then sends a message that we are in danger, and it clicks in our adrenaline response, and we get this rush of adrenaline, and that rush of adrenaline gets us ready to fight. So fight the danger that we feel we're in, or flight, so run away from the danger that we're in, hence the fight or flight mode. And what happens then is the adrenaline rushes through our body and gets us ready to fight or flight, and through that we feel our heart start to beat faster, our blood pressure will rise, we'll probably feel butterflies in our stomach, we might get pins and needles, and all of this is getting us ready for that fight or that flight. Now what happens is when there isn't a real danger, then we still get that response, even because our brain has told us there's this danger, but then we start to worry about those physical symptoms that we're getting, the racing heart, thinking maybe it's a heart attack or something like that, and then that makes us more anxious. That sends messages to our brain that we're in danger, and we start that vicious cycle of anxiety. And unfortunately, our brain can't tell the difference between what is a real danger and what is a perceived danger of life. So say for example, you're asked to speak in public to 1,000 people. Suddenly that's real fear about presenting to those 1,000 people. Now, we know that that's not real danger to our life, but the fear response has gone to our brain, and that has told our brain that we are in danger, and so it clicks in that adrenaline response and the fight or flight. And hence, you know, if you're going to have to speak in public, you feel that racing heart and the butterflies in your stomach and everything. So as I say, it can't tell the difference between real and perceived. Also, at the moment, within COVID-19, we do have a real threat to our life. The virus is a threat to us. But unfortunately, we can't really fight it back, and we can't really run away from it. We can keep ourselves safe from it, but we can't physically run away from it. But our brain doesn't know that. So if you're constantly watching the news and hearing all this bad news about what COVID-19 is creating around the world, then our brain immediately thinks that we're in danger, and it will start our fight or flight. So if you're sitting at home watching the news, then actually your anxiety is going to kick in, and you're going to feel all those physical symptoms that you do from the fight or flight. The other area is that for some people, unfortunately, they've grown up in environments that are threatening environments, or it may be that you've been in an accident or a dangerous situation, and then your fight or flight is kicking in almost consistently, because what happens is you're probably on high alert all the time for danger. And so your adrenaline is high and you're getting that fight or flight response. Hi Claire, hi Donna, thanks for joining us. So you can see that that vicious cycle of anxiety keeps on going from our thoughts through to the adrenaline rushing in, our body having that response, that physical response scaring us, sending the message to the brain that we're in danger, and we keep going through that cycle. So relaxation is a really good way of being able to stop that vicious cycle. Now you can learn meditation, you can learn mindfulness, you can do some yoga, and all of those help. But unfortunately, I haven't got the time to teach you all those today. But what I am going to do is 5 very simple techniques that you can learn that can help break that vicious cycle of anxiety for you. So the techniques that I'm going to show you, I do actually have a worksheet with all of these on. So if you're interested in being reminded of what I've talked about today, then you can request that information sheet from me free of charge. So either direct message me or I'll put my email in the comments below after this, and you can email me for that info sheet if you want it. So as I say, we're going to keep it nice and simple, and we're going to start with some breathing techniques. Now, breathing changes our body from feeling tense to feeling relaxed. Now, when our body's in a tense situation, it feels that it's in danger. So if we can relax our body down, it sends messages to our brain that we're safe and relaxed, so therefore we can't be in danger, and it won't turn on our fight or flight. Now, it's all very well knowing all these exercises, but knowing and doing are 2 different things. So I can teach you these, but it's actually by integrating them into your life and practicing them on a daily basis that you will start to make a difference. So I would suggest practicing these every morning and every evening, and making them part of your daily routine if anxiety is something that you live with on a regular basis. So let's talk about breathing first. Now, deep breathing, you've probably been told, is really useful to calm your anxiety, and that's true. But there is a certain way of deep breathing, because what happens is when we breathe deeply, we're wanting to make sure we get enough oxygen, because quite often we might be feeling lightheaded and things because we've got too much carbon dioxide going to our brain, where we've been breathing too quickly and too shallowly. So we need to do some deep breathing. But what happens is we probably breathe from our chest, and actually we need to breathe from our diaphragm, which comes under our chest, so that we can fill our lungs completely. So let's try and see how we deep breathe at the moment. So what I would do is put a hand on your chest. Hello Adele, hello Katie, just in time to try out our breathing techniques. So put a hand on your chest and put your other hand, I don't think you can see it, but put your other hand on your tummy, just over your belly button. Now what I want you to do is take a couple of deep breaths and see which of your hands moves. So take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, or breathe out. Now what you'll see when I did that, as I took a deep breath in, my shoulders came up and my chest went out, and when I when I took the breath out, my shoulders went down. Now, what we want to be doing is expanding our chest so that our lungs give us as much capacity as possible. And that needs to come from our diaphragm. So what you need to do when you breathe in is, as you breathe in, you need to feel your tummy come out. And when you breathe in, you need to feel your tummy go in. So if we try that again, and you breathe out, but actually feel the hand on your tummy move outwards, and your hand on your chest stay quite still. So try that again and breathe in with your tummy going out. And then just slowly and gently let your breath out and feel your tummy go in. Now what you'll have seen there is that when I breathe and my tummy goes out, instead of my shoulders going up like that, what you'll see is my shoulders actually go down. So that means we're opening up the diaphragm and we're opening up our lungs to get more air in. I find my breathing more relaxing in and out from the nose rather than from my mouth. If that's fine. It doesn't matter whether you're breathing in or out through your mouth, whichever feels more comfortable for you. And for some people, deep breathing is really difficult and it can make them feel dizzy when they do it. So it's finding how it works for you, but you do need to be making sure that you fill your lungs. But in and out through your nose is just fine. But what we're wanting to remember is that we push our tummy out when we breathe in, and it goes back in when we breathe out, so we're filling our lungs properly. So I would practice that for a little while and make sure that you're actually breathing deep enough and filling your lungs enough. Now, if you practice that and you start to get good at that, I would move on to what's called 4-7-8 breathing. And this is a well-known breathing technique for anxiety. So when you start, if you want to kind of put your hands on your chest and your tummy again to make sure that you're expanding your lungs as much as possible, sit yourself comfortably with your feet firmly on the ground. And if you want to close your eyes, that's good as well. And then, as I say, we're going to take a deep breath in with your tummy coming out and your shoulders going down. And we're going to breathe out for 4, for the count of 4. So breathe out and count to 4. And then hold the breath for 7. And then we're breathing out slowly and gently for 8. And Julie, whether it's through your nose or your mouth, is just fine. So shall we try that? So breathe in for 4. Hold for 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And out for 8. Okay, so breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And out for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now Julie's saying that she's got asthma. So what I was going to say with this breathing, being able to, we all have different lung capacity. So sometimes being able to hold your breath for 7 and breathe out for 8 can sometimes be too much for you. And Charlie's just said that's made him hugely lightheaded. And when you first start to do it, it can do. So it's back being that practice and making sure that you're breathing out through your tummy and holding your lungs. But at first it does make you quite lightheaded. And, you know, because we have this different lung capacity, it might mean that you just breathe in for 2, hold for 4 and breathe out for 6, whatever feels comfortable for you. But what you need to remember is that you're breathing in, you're holding for slightly longer, and you're breathing out for slightly longer. But like all things, it all comes with practice. And interestingly enough, our bodies don't naturally relax very well. So we need to teach our body how to relax. And the more that you do this, probably the less that you'll feel lightheaded, and you'll find the way that suits you. A very quick breathing exercise can be a real quickie. So perhaps if you're in the car going to the supermarket and you suddenly feel that the anxiety is overwhelming you, you can do just a very quick breathing exercise. So just stop, put your shoulders down, just take a couple of deep, slow breaths, and you don't have to worry about holding it or anything, just a couple of deep, slow breaths, and then carry on with what you're doing, but do it at a much slower pace. Because again, we're sending messages to our brain that actually we're not in danger. Because if we're fighting or flight, if we're in fight or flight, we're kind of tense and we want to do things quickly, but slowing down almost sends the message to our brain that everything's calm, everything's safe, and we're okay. So just take some time to practice those breathing exercises and find what works for you best, whether it's breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, or both in through your nose and out through your nose, and counting as it suits you so that you don't feel too lightheaded when you do it. And you'll start to learn what works for you. And Charlie's saying he thinks he has the capacity of an ant. Yes, that's probably very small lungs you have there, Charlie. So you might have to hold your breath for a little bit longer. And when you're breathing out, don't force the breath out. So it's not a because that will make you lightheaded. So it's actually doing the breathing and then slowly, slowly breathing out. So I take it deep breathing won't actually work if you are in danger. Yes, it will, Sarah, because by breathing, you're actually telling your brain that you don't feel that you're in danger and you're calming yourself down. So it's all about calming down and not sending the messages to your brain that you are in danger. So if you're able to breathe deeply, you can start to calm yourself down. And quite often, our anxiety rises and we start to feel ourselves going into panic situation, and we can feel ourselves having a panic attack. And actually the deep breathing, if you can start to take a few deep breaths, you'll start to relax your body down and start sending those messages to your brain that you're not in so much danger. And so you can start to feel a little bit calmer. So now we're going to move on to distraction techniques, because when you are in that panic situation, you might have been able to take a few deep breaths and calm yourself down. And now you need to look at distracting yourself so that your negative thoughts aren't continuing going round in your head to feed you the fact that you feel that you're in danger. So what you need to do is focus on the world around you. And some good things to do is do some counting. So look around you. So once you've calmed yourself down a little bit, start to look around you. And if you're outside, maybe count the cars that are around, passing you by or parked. Count the people that are walking by. If you're at home, and you can kind of look around the room and start to count how many chairs are in the room, how many bricks are on the wall, things like that. If there's not too many things to count, then I would start looking around you and looking for things that start with the letter A. Then look for some things that start with the letter B and C, and keep going through the alphabet until you've calmed yourself down. Because what that means is Smarties on the floor. Well, if you've got kids, then yes, count the Smarties on the floor. That would be a good one, Charlie. So, you know, through using your brain to look for these things around you, you're not able to have your negative thoughts because you're focusing and keeping your brain busy on doing something else. If you're not very good at thinking of words and looking around, then it might be that spatially you're better aware and your hearing is better. So listen for the stuff around you, but really focus on what you can hear around you. So if you can hear people talking, quite often when you're anxiety and panic, you know, when you kind of get that as if you're going into a tunnel and everything starts kind of rushing around in your ears and things, really focus on the sounds around you and really see if you can concentrate on them, and that will bring you back into the here and now. Now, a good one to try if we're sitting at home and we're watching the news about COVID-19 and we're going into a slight anxiety and panic because of the news that we're hearing, you need to let yourself know that you're safe here and now, and right in that moment you are safe. Julie's saying she's totally agree with the distraction. Yeah, it's a really good technique, Julie, and your brain can't do the two things at once, so distraction is really good. So yeah, we're sitting at home, we're watching the news, we're feeling that we're in danger from COVID-19, but actually we're in our house and we're safe in our home. Now, by being able again to give your brain the message that you're safe and that you're in a safe place, you will start to calm down your anxiety. So use all of your senses. So I would look around and see 5 things that you can see and just kind of say, oh, you know, I can see the clock on the wall. I can see the toys of my children on the floor. I can see my favourite teacup on the coffee table. You're starting to see that these are things that are familiar to you and safe. 4 things that you can hear. Focus on some things that are going on in the house and that you can hear. Start to touch things around you. Look for 3 things that you can touch. You know, feel the leather on your armchair perhaps, and feel how cold and hard that is, and then feel your jumper and how soft and smooth that is. And then a couple of things that you can smell, kind of smell the smells around your house. Taste is really difficult, but I usually say keep a little packet of sweets next to you or in your handbag when you're out, and then prop a mint into your mouth and you can start to taste the mint. So you're using your taste as well. So by using all of your senses and being familiar and finding your familiar surroundings, and you know that you're in your safe home and at home you are safe, you will start to ease down that anxiety that you're feeling for seeing that news about what's happening outside. So I hope that some of those relaxation techniques have been useful to you. As I say, the breathing does take a little while to get used to. You would have thought that deep breathing was something easy to do, but it is quite difficult. So I would take your time practicing that and seeing how that goes. And as I say, just practice every day, and if you're practicing every day, it will get easier for you. I would perhaps keep a relaxation diary. Sarah, good luck with that. I hope that goes well. So I would say that keep a diary and rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how tense and anxious and stressed you're feeling. Spend 10 minutes or so doing some relaxation techniques, and then rate how you're feeling afterwards in 1 to 10. And as you go through the weeks, you'll start to feel that this has more and more effect. And you know what? I forgot one, which I think is a really good one, and it's one of my favourites, and I don't know why I forgot it. So progressive muscle relaxation. This one I really like because it's tensing up all your muscles and then relaxing them down. And again, it's getting your body to know the difference between what feels tense and what is relaxed. So I usually start at the bottom of my body and work my way up, but it's up to you how you do it. So start off by tensing your toes as tight as you can, hold for 5, and then relax out for 7. And just move up your body, tensing your calf muscles, tensing your thighs, tensing your buttocks, tensing your tummy. Your son does this and it's brilliant. It is. And sorry, I nearly forgot it. So I'm glad I looked down at my sheet and remembered it. So, you know, tensing up your shoulders as hard as you can and then relaxing them down. And just go through all of your body, and then right at the end, tense up your whole body. So what I would do is, before you get up in the morning, do a couple of breathing, you know, 3 or 4 deep breaths. Do your muscle relaxation all the way through your body. And then in the evening, before you go to bed, you can do the same thing. Hi Sharon, thanks for joining us. So, and again, I say before you go to sleep, so that you're starting your day off in a relaxed state and you're finishing your day in a relaxed state. And the more that you do this, the more that you'll start to teach your body that it can relax quickly when you're feeling in danger or you feel that perceived danger and you start to feel anxious or start to panic. And the more that you practice it, the easier it will be to do when you're feeling in those anxious situations. So I'm hoping that those have been useful to you. And as I say, if you want the sheet, then just direct message me your email and I'll get that over to you. As always, I will upload this on my Facebook page, so you can watch it on replay, or if you think it would be useful to someone else, you can get them to watch it on replay. I will write a blog about this as well, and always put that onto my website, www.seeclearcounselling.co.uk. And if any of you particularly suffer badly with anxiety, I have just started up a Facebook group, Beating Anxiety Through COVID-19 and Beyond, and that's really just a support group. We've got about 50 members at the moment, and it's just a place where people can support each other and ask for help, and put some of their concerns and things, and hopefully a little community where you feel you're getting some support for your anxiety. So you can always look for that on Facebook and join. Just have to answer the 3 questions and I'll let you into the group. And as always, if you are going through difficult times, then please do talk to someone, because talking is really important. And as I always say, talking to people is the best thing that you can do. Hello, Jean. Sorry, we're almost finished, so you might have to watch it on replay. From a talking perspective, I'm now doing counselling via telephone or video, so I'm still available to offer counselling if needs be, and I have reduced my rates because I'm aware that people are kind of in financial not quite the same place that they were a few months ago, but as I say, just talking to someone is probably the most important thing that you can do if you're feeling really anxious or feeling down about anything. So thanks for joining me. Have a go at practicing those breathing techniques, the progressive muscle relaxation, and looking at distraction techniques. And I really hope that they're going to be helpful to you if you do feel that the anxiety starts to get the better of you at this time. And stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll check in with you all again next week. Thanks very much. Bye now.